Hey, Copper here, and more of my OT 2020 through hike. But first, I am not on the OT. Obviously, I'm at the sometimes at least beautiful Lake Thunderbird. But I wanted to be sure to mention before we get on to the rest of the videos that this was also a fundraiser. I took some pledge grants from some of my very generous friends whose name we're going to pop up here. We're raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation. Fight Alzheimer's, because Alzheimer's sucks. What more do you need to say? And we raised over $2,000, $2,094 actually. So thank you so much for everyone, and thank you for following along. It was a lot of extra motivation for me, and it was pretty cool. Having old friends cheer me on. So thank you.
It is the last campsite break of the OT, so it is a foggy, gloomy morning for my last day. My wife would really be appreciating the fog, so do the usual campsite police, make sure I didn't forget anything, make sure I didn't leave any trash bits around here where I ate. Leave no trace principles employed. All right, we are off for the last day. Well, this is way crooked. For the last day in the gloom. It's like 6:45, 6:50, about 7. I tried to, let me check exactly, but I think it's about 7. It's like 10 till. I tried to kind of loaf around, but because I'm not in a particular hurry, but I don't know. I didn't sleep super well last night, honestly. I was tossing and turning a little bit. I don't know, just thinking about finishing. So I went ahead and got up. Tried to start a fire. Couldn't really get a fire going because I used my last fire starter. Should have saved a half of it for this morning, but it's okay. It's like I said, it's a gloomy, foggy morning coming out of this. So this PV campsite, they had like it's like a little paddock. Even tell you where the nearest water is, which this is a quarter west, which means I walked in on it. It's just, got paranoid I didn't have my hat for a second. There you go. So I have to follow this back down now. It was like 9/10 of a mile straight up this hill yesterday, which I know I already griped at. There's the White Blaze. So we're on White Blaze because we're a side trail, not on the main Blue Blaze. So other trails, when you meet up with them, will be different colors. There was the beep saying my satellite signal message sent, even though I actually have cell coverage and have had for pretty much mostly all of yesterday. Holy moly. So we had a dense fog when I looked at the weather. Dense fog advisory. And they were not kidding. It is foggy, man. Sun's not even quite up yet. It's about official sunrise a couple of minutes ago. Can't you tell? It is so foggy this morning. It's crazy. That's all right. This will be a fun thing. I like the fog. So, all right, off for the last day. I got after this side trail, I have 14.8. So I do have a big day, but I don't really need to be in any hurry because, well, quite frankly, in the time it takes me to these 15 miles, my wife will drive here from Norman to Little Rock in about 5 hours. That's pretty funny to think about. So I'm going to be doing this while she drives across. I don't know how many 100 miles that is. It's a ways. So anyway, vlog out this morning. Hiking down to the trail in the fog. 45 minutes later, it's still gloomy. Gloomy Gus with the fog, but it's kind of cool. Just not pushing a pace today. I don't want to beat Tanya there, and I don't know how early she's going to leave. So checking a little bit, see if I've heard from her. See what time she leaves. I'll try to time this, but generally speaking, I think I'm going to probably beat her there. So 15 is not a long day for me anymore. Really, just keeps falling down. 15 is not a long day for me anymore, so it shouldn't be that long. Anyway, there we go. Gloomy Gus. It's actually super cool fog. I wish I could get out by the lake. I bet you it's really cool by the lake, and I'm pretty sure the lake's not really far that way, so we should see it again, hopefully. Lessons in efficiency. So I have bars where I can reach them. There's a spider web and a spider big shock. For me, there's a pretty simple key. I think I've mentioned this, but so we can see some scenery, to hiking a lot of distance. Just don't stop. I just don't stop. I might slow down and do something like drink or eat a bar like this, but I don't stop. I put poles in the other hand. I wait for a stretch where I know I can do this. Eat there. I can get bottles out and drink. I stop to eat lunch, and that's a pack off break. I'll probably take a couple other drink breaks, maybe / snack breaks where I just lean against a tree, or if there's a convenient rock to sit on, I can also one a little bit higher, preferably a foot higher, to rest my pack weight on. But I don't take pack off. Pack off is usually just one point where I refill water and lunch. If you combine those two, that's even better. And I just keep walking. And if you just don't stop, don't take breaks, slow down if you have to, you cover a lot of ground if you just don't stop. It's breaks that kill distance. It's not necessarily that. I mean, if I want to do 20 miles, I have to push my pace. But 15, I just have to not stop. Basically, if I walk all day, I'll get there no problem. I don't even have to hurry. 20 minutes for lunch. Morning pond in the fog. Isn't that beautiful with the little lily pads here? Just a rando pond. Hey, Mr. Turtle. Typical. Whoa. Damn, almost tripped. Missed a turn. Got a little off trail. These forest roads can be deceptive because sometimes the trail is on the forest road or path. Really, ATV, some of them are called forest roads, but they're more like ATV paths. Yeah, basically, if I'm going along cruising on one of these and I haven't seen a blue blaze in a while, I'm like, I want to get out the phone because I bet you I'm off path. I could look on the Garmin too real quick. A lot of times I can look just on the map and see. Matter of fact, for the fine navigation of trying to find a path where you can't find a path, that's the way to go. But anyway, the real trick here that I was going to say is, okay, so the trail's over there. I missed a turn somehow. So shoot, way off. I don't want to. I try to avoid bushwhacking. I'm just going to follow this back to where I missed the turn. It's only a couple tenths. You can waste more time trying to bash through the woods, and you're really not supposed to do it off trail. You're supposed to be on trail, or obviously on this. So I missed a turn way back here. Have to walk back a couple of tenths. Don't try to bushwhack over the trail. It is a recipe for disaster. Never works out. Well, still a gloomy morning here. Okay. Yeah, just thinking about, I just can't stop thinking about that it's my last day and what it means to finish. It was a big deal in goal setting for me. A year ago, I never heard of the Ouachita Trail. I was not into backpacking. I started backpacking in February. January I was interested in it. Last year I started watching some through hiker videos of the AT, and that got me interested in it. I did a bunch of stuff when I was in Scouts when I was younger, but I hadn't really done anything since then. Procured a bunch of stuff right before COVID hit. Did my first solo trip into the Ouachita Mountains, Karen's Garden wilderness area. Pretty unprepared, frankly. Did a lot of things wrong, not the least of which is go solo. Didn't really know what I was doing, hadn't really tested out a lot of my gear, and was in the backcountry with no signal and didn't have my emergency beacon, so it wasn't the brightest, but you know, I lived. It was cold. I lived. But anyway, I trained really hard all year long, because after Libby and I did the loop in April that covered the first 8 miles of the OT, I knew I wanted to do the OT someday. I was just going to section hike it with Lib, was the plan, but I was already walking a lot, so I started training hard. And then when Libby bowed out, I started training really hard. I would do 4 to 8, 9, on the weekends, sometimes 10 miles of training hikes. Towards the end, all with the pack on, all in what I call distressed footing, either trying to, you know, not walking on roads, walking on grass, walking on uneven ground, up and down hills, side hills back and forth, parking garage steps, the sand lots at Reeves Park. I would walk all the way over there, which itself was a couple miles from my house. I'm walking the sand volleyball lots. I'd walk in this rock path at the Natural History Museum. I'd walk on the OU baseball field hill over and over and over again. They had this hill that was about 30 yards long, but very steep. And I would just walk up and down it for hours. So I trained really hard and planned real hard. And so there's a tremendous sense of satisfaction in that, in the goal setting, and getting it done. For me, because I'm really good at setting goals. I'm not always good at finishing them and doing all the work required. And in this case, I did it. So there's a lot of satisfaction in that. Conquering my anxieties about being out here this long on my own. You know, just going to sleep after you've seen a pair of eyes in the woods next to your tent. You know, things like that. Pretty cool. Anyway, pretty neat. All right, well, I hope this angle is good. Eating lunch. Pretty comfortable here, as you can see. Got my butt pad on this, so it's like a chair. I try to get my feet above my heart for a break. And so this is lunch. I got a couple of these things. I got deli tuna salad and some salmon. A lot of times I have the rice and beans with the tuna, is really good. I'll put some spice on there and then add some salmon. But in this case, it's just tuna salad and salmon, a lot of salmon. This is like 31 grams of protein worth of salmon. It's really good. I wish I had the rice and beans. Those are better. And a lot of times, if I only have one tortilla left. Usually I'll have 2, and I'll double this up across 2 tortillas. And or spicy salt or olive oil, garlic, any of those spices I have, but they're kind of buried in my food bag, which is at the bottom of my pack. I didn't get them out this morning. This tortilla's seen better days. Ordinarily, I can make a better wrap than this. I wish I'd have brought spicy mustard packets. That would have been the bomb.com on this. But honestly, they're pretty good. Like I said, the rice and bean ones are better. I really need to get the rice and beans. Just any of these little things with either salmon or tuna, or there's chicken spicy ones. There's all kinds of stuff. The wheat tortillas are amazingly durable, and a wrap is a good mouthfeel. It's a really good lunch. So there you go, lunch. We only got about 7 miles to go. I'm just kind of loafing so I don't have to wait for Tanya, because I want her to be there when I finish, hopefully. So I'm gonna stop. It's nice. I've been walking real slow. The fog just now burnt off. The lake's over there, but you can barely see it. You can see the lake out there. Matter of fact, you can see this mountain rising out of the other side of it. That's pretty cool. I don't know how well that's going to cut across on camera, but the fog is finally lifting. It's had our little lunch spot here. It is... what time? It's 10:38. I'm gonna have to walk really slow to not beat Tanya there. This side view here. Lake is laking. It's good. The fog is lifted. I am progressing. Not sure exactly where I am, but again, I'm loafing because it's pretty early. I still think I'm gonna beat Tanya there, so I'm not trying to push the pace. I'm on a nice, easy pace, enjoying my last day out here. I think a woman I met earlier told me like the last bit is all road walk, so I didn't know that. That's kind of blah way to end it. But apparently you just take the road up to Pinnacle Mountain State Park, which is kind of lame. I haven't confirmed that with Get Hook, but I didn't know that. That kind of sucks. Anyway, that's it. Ooh, little lizard on the trail. Beautiful little, I don't know what you call it, meadow right off the lake. Anyway, just met a whole family. Couple with like, got a baby. Oh, I believe they have 5 kids out here. The oldest looked to be about, I don't know, 8 or 9. So good on them. And he knew right what I was doing. He was asked how far I'd come. And I said all the way. He was like, oh, awesome. Like he's the second person I ran into today who was kind of correctly guessed. I guess I look pretty ragged. That it was on the tail end of a through hike. So maybe it's the look in my eye. I don't know. Anyway, pretty cool. Well, just because we're at mile 220 something, I don't know. Well, not far from the end doesn't mean we still don't have cool little bridges. Cool little OT bridges. Make me happy. Right next to someone's house and a road. This whole area has had a lot of development around it, you can tell. That's why the camping is limited, I think. Much of this last little bit is indeed on the road, although I looked on the map, the one was wrong. It's not entirely on the road. It does branch off to the left here in a bit. You can see the traces. The bridge with no shoulder was fine. I had to make sure it was clear and run. Not that this is much fun, but I think we leave up here in a little bit. Hopefully I leave. We'll see. I think it goes off to the left. So this is a trip. I think I'm gonna go across this. Got my electrolytes here. I think I'm gonna go across this. This thing is falling. This old bridge. Been on this old road for about, I don't know, quarter, half mile. It's still the OT. It's got blazes on the road. So, whoops. I dropped my water bottle. Almost at the end here. I don't know, maybe 2 miles, I think. Okay, so this should be cool. So there's the highway I had to walk on for a little while, and the real current bridge. We get to take the cool old one. Look at that. Bunch of graffiti, of course. Ryan Italian. Some games of tic-tac-toe. And that's it. We're across. Well, here we go. Some train tracks in the park. Got about a mile to go. Coming on in. It's really hard to believe. Whoops. This thing is not very straight, but yeah, it's the last mile. I was just thinking, wow, geez, I keep bumping that. I was just thinking that this is probably, well, no, probably, it's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. Definitely the hardest thing I've ever trained for. And so, you know, probably one of the, not surprisingly, one of the proudest I've ever been of an accomplishment, because I wasn't sure I could do it, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Again, I'm just kind of freaking out that it's ending, so ending on a big, going through a power line row here. Been all over this morning. Anyway, I'm here. I'm literally staring at the Trailhead sign. It's like 100 yards away, maybe 50 yards away. Right there. I beat Tanya here by quite a bit, so I'm gonna take a break here. I think it'd be cool if she was there. Whoops, when I walk through. So I'm gonna take a nap. All right. Well, this is it. I'm walking in. Tanya's here. I'm walking the last 100 yards. And I'm probably gonna cry. So you can get the sign. Tanya's directing me. Still not done. Still have 10 yards to go.
Right. Come on up. I'm trying to, I was going to get you by the sign, like right there.
Yeah. Having a moment. You kidding me? I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I did it.